Hi, welcome to Viewpoint. I'm the host, Lily Newman, and along with my co-host, Susan Solomon, Executive Director of Drug Crisis in Our Backyard.
Good afternoon, Lily.
Welcome, Sue.
Thank you.
And today our guests are Erik Jones and Shayne Hayward from Delancy Street Foundation. I want to welcome you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
We're very happy to have you here today. We've heard a lot about your organization, and actually we met at Senator Murphy's Shed the Med not that long ago, and we thought it would be a great opportunity for you to come on Viewpoint and tell the audience what your organization does and how you got started and how people can contact you and all those things. So, welcome.
Thank you.
So why don't you just tell us, Delancy Street, tell us what it is, because I've heard of it, some people have, so tell us about Delancy Street. What is it?
So, the Delancy Street Foundation is a 2-year residential academy for men and women who've hit bottom, through drugs or alcohol, incarceration, and it's a way where people can reattain or learn the life skills that they need to be able to live successfully. Because once the drugs are over, you still need to kind of learn how to live life, and that's kind of what we teach and do through a 2-year process.
Okay. And do you take private funding? How do you support yourself?
Well, we're actually completely self-sufficient. So our trade schools that we offer, such as our moving company, we have a retail department, other facilities have restaurants, catering, things of that nature are actually the way that we pay our bills. They're ran by us, but it's also used the funds that we generate are able to keep our doors open so that we don't take insurance money, we don't take government funding, we don't take tax dollars, and we're able to not take from society, instead give back and help people get on their feet.
And that's good to know so that people know that they can come to you if they don't have insurance, if the insurance doesn't pay, or they can just come to you. Now, will you take someone who has insurance but you won't access it, so they can just come to you and say, look, I've got insurance, but I have no money, so they can come? Because that's something that people won't understand, because you're probably the only place that says just show up at the... What's your policy? I don't want to say it for you. Your policy is... show up.
Yeah, just show up and have the desire to want to change.
Right.
With the insurance, it's really simple. We have Fidelis and we go through Medicaid. So we just have, regardless of whatever background you're from or what you have or don't have, it's everybody gets on the same policy, and it's the same way that our foundation is essentially. Everybody's equal, the same, and that's how we treat it.
Okay, so let me understand that. So if someone comes to you and whether they have insurance or not is insignificant. Right. You're going to get them Medicaid.
Correct.
Fidelis, Medicaid.
Correct,
okay.
Yes.
Because there's other treatment facilities that do the same thing. If somebody comes without insurance, they'll get them on Medicaid, whichever one that place takes. Like, Arms Acres does that, St. Christopher's. They facilitate the person coming in getting the Medicaid that they need.
Absolutely.
Correct.
So you do that also.
Yes.
Okay.
I have to interrupt, but you get Medicaid not to pay for treatment?
No.
No. To pay for living, to pay maybe for food stamps?
No, we don't do any
medical?
food stamps.
Okay.
We don't.
So what's the Medicaid for?
Just in case, of course, in society things happen and someone were to get hurt and we
Got
have to take
it.
them.
So it's just the medical piece.
Yeah, we don't use
Now I
insurance to pay for
understand.
the bills, or it's
Got
not
it.
used for food stamps. We take care of all that ourselves
That's what I
through
thought.
various vendors, and we actually pay for our own food and take
Got
care
it.
of all that on our own.
Okay.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I see. Okay, so
Yeah.
so you don't either take the residential part of the Medicaid. You don't take.
There's absolutely 0% government funding in any aspect of our foundation. From no matter which of our facilities you're at, we're completely self-sufficient.
Great, that's great. So how many facilities are there?
There's 6. We have 3 on the East Coast in Brewster, and then North Carolina and South Carolina.
Okay.
And then there's also our headquarters in San Francisco, along with LA and New Mexico.
Okay, that's great. So now, there's Delancy Street is in Brooklyn. Is there some connection with Delancy Street in Brooklyn and the name of your foundation?
It's actually the Lower East Side of Manhattan the name comes from. It's
okay.
It's symbolic of
Bowery.
the way people used to live back when the immigrants would come over.
Okay.
And Delancey Street is sort of a representation of that, the name, like everybody coming together and pooling their resources to help each other survive, live. So in Delancy Street, the way that works is, let's say somebody were to come in and they had a 12th grade reading level. They would teach somebody that has an 8th grade reading level, and that person would teach somebody that has a 6th grade reading level, and so on and so forth. So essentially, you're passing on what you have, and you're teaching somebody else with what you have available to you. And the same thing works in those types of communities. Somebody could be a plumber, somebody could be in construction, somebody could be good at something else. So everybody learns something different from everybody, and everybody has something to offer.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's like paying it forward.
Exactly.
Paying it
Exactly.
forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you're a 2-year, and person has to come in with the desire and the willingness to give you a 2-year commitment.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. What happens if they say that, but in a month or so do they leave? How long? How many people leave? How many people, on average, stay the whole 2-year commitment?
With the reason why we're 2 years, let's start there first. Most of us who've been at the foundation, or the people that need help, have, we've been, either on using or incarcerated for an extended period of time. And our approach is solely behavioral. So when you go through the behaviors of being a drug addict for X amount of years, or being a criminal or incarcerated, whatever the thing is, it's going to take some time to relearn how to be a different person. So we expect a 2-year commitment.
Right.
And it's different for different people, I guess. You have, if somebody walks in and they don't have any, legal overhead per se, they'll make it the same 2-year commitment that anybody else does. And of course, some people, we're really upfront with it. We're really tough. Not that we're overbearing or it's militant or anything crazy. It's just that instead of being who you were, you're going to learn responsibilities. You're going to be given some chances to gain some trust. And as the lives that we were living before, that's tough. But it started in small incremental steps and some very simple activities to actually being able to run different training schools within the foundation. So the 2 years really goes into changing your social skills, changing the way you think, act, walk, and feel, along with learning the necessary job skills through vocational training to be able to succeed.
So tell us what a typical day would look like.
Okay, so for the newcomer,
Right.
they would be on maintenance. Right after the interview, they go to the warehouse. We supply them with any clothing they're going to need, to the bedding, to any hygienic needs that they would have. We supply everybody with everything, and it's all equal. So they wake up the first day, they're on maintenance. Maintenance is just a phase where you're expected to be able to learn how to wake up and go get to a job on time, to be able to work with people, to be able to communicate professionally, to be able to do the things we kind of learn at earlier stages in life that we missed.
That's right. That's right. You're right.
So-
You're teaching people, because if someone started using at 15, that's when they stop growing
Exactly.
emotionally. And so you actually got a bunch of kids when they first come in,
You're absolutely
developmentally,
right.
So
Yeah.
they need to start to learn how to get up on time, brush their teeth, wash their face.
Make their bed.
Make their bed.
That's
show up on
literally what
time
we
for
do.
breakfast.
Very true.
So that sounds like the maintenance phase.
But then,
Exactly.
so let's say this now. So nobody comes in that is detoxing. They have to be detoxed.
Yeah, we would send them to a detox just because you have to work. So you wouldn't want to be in a position where you're detoxing and trying. We
Got
wake
it.
up. Your first day, you're waking up. You're on maintenance. You're cleaning, taking care of the property, doing all the basic
doing
household
something.
things.
That's
and
good.
that's very
Great.
difficult. Yeah, absolutely. So we want you to at least have a level head where you can at least follow some instructions and get through the day.
Right.
We can't have you laying down and trying to go through a detox, which is a very difficult thing to do, of course.
So you're connected with places that do detox.
Intake.
Yeah. Yes and no. It's not that I can refer somebody to a
Yeah.
detox and they'll just take them right in. But we just have an extensive. We know in our general area where people are taken. The hospital at Putnam Hospital is usually does really well with taking people for a few days for us, and the main thing too is that we just don't have a professional qualified staff on hand because our foundation is completely ran by the residents.
Right.
So we want to be more careful with trying to just put somebody in the same job position as somebody who's detoxing because we don't know.
Right.
No, I understand.
And no one on medication.
Correct.
Correct.
That's the same thing as
Non-medical.
we just don't have the staff that's capable of being able to diagnose or adjust or change those things. And a lot of we're just like I said in the beginning, I guess we're strictly learning how to change our behaviors, and it's the addict or people helping the people do those things. So we just make things really simple for the people around us and our communities, and it's just that we just can't diagnose it. It's more simply put, I guess.
So if anyone comes in with depression and they have their own meds, their own doctor, they can't come because they can't have their medications on them.
Correct.
Because they can't just have them there. Okay.
Correct, yeah.
All right.
Okay,
It's good to
and you
know.
have men and women.
Yes.
And how many beds?
In our facility, it is just men. In Brewster,
In Brewster,
In
just
Brewster,
men.
yes, yeah.
Okay.
But we could about 60. It goes up and down. We're not going to turn anybody away. If we got to that number, we would make sure that you would be there too.
Okay.
But we try to keep it at a family atmosphere as well because we're trying to teach holistic family values.
Right.
So 60 would be our number, and then we also do a lot of work with the jails and the women's jails and prisons, and so we help the women out by interviewing for our North Carolina facility.
Oh, all right.
And once we have the interview done, because it has to be face to face, then we give the paperwork to North Carolina. So that
And
way
how do
they
they
can-
get?
I have a question. So you're going into the Putnam jails?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Putnam County Correctional Center, and then all of the local prisons just as well.
Okay. Well, that's
Going
interesting.
to Solutions in Valhalla or no?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yep.
you do?
Yes,
Good.
we do, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Because I'm telling you, a lot of people come out of the prison, they should come to you. They really should, because they've been in prison.
Absolutely.
I mean, they need to learn and get sober. And just because they're sober inside, a lot of them, if they're there 6 months, 8 months, whatever, they haven't learned anything. They haven't
Well,
learned
those
any
Solutions
skills.
does have a treatment.
I
There's
know they
treatment
do, and
being
it's 90
going on
days,
there.
and it's wonderful. I'm not, but when you get out, coming then to a program like an outpatient program doesn't give you the skills
No,
that you really need.
I totally think that this is very important. I mean, this is what we talk about when we talk about aftercare. This is exactly what people need after they've come out of a treatment facility, because they need to have somewhere to go where they're going to be occupied, so they're doing work, right?
Right.
They feel they're not back in their house where all those triggers are. They're somewhere that they're meeting new people. They have a social. So what do you do for fun?
For fun, because it's just as important to learn how to have fun the right way.
The right way.
Right.
We do have a blast. Every Saturday we do a cookout, hamburgers, hot dogs. We have family functions, and where a group of guys will present some sort of game or some event like soccer. We have a huge property, so we do a lot of fun, different things. And then also to really learn about culture, because that's really important to us too, because we're pretty self-conceited as addicts.
Yeah.
We want to teach people what culture actually is, and so we do have people that go down to Carnegie Hall, to the various museums in the city, down in New York City. And then we also have a lot of fun going to the baseball games and football games, basketball games, stuff like that, just so you can kind of get back into the mix of having fun and not having to use or be the people we were before.
Right.
It's living life on life terms.
Absolutely.
It's really
Very
that.
practical living. That's the whole purpose,
Right.
is you're practicing living life the way that somebody that has done it the right way their whole life. And that's
learn.
what we're trying to, exactly, that's all it is.
Now, do you do meetings there? 12-step meetings?
Well, our program isn't associated with AA or NA, and we're non-religious based. Our
Okay.
structure is kind of our own original structure system, and that it's like you have families within a families. It's kind of based on Jewish principle, where we have minions, which is just a Jewish term for a study group that's usually ran with the minion leader. But we use that principle as a means of structure. So we
Okay.
have the newer guys that are in a minion. They have a minion leader.
All right.
And then they have what we call a barber, which is sort of the disciplinarian.
All right.
And then
Are you the barber, Sean?
I am.
I knew it. I just knew it.
Yeah, no, it's
So what is that role?
well, it's just you're teaching. It's character development. You're trying to help people to learn from their mistakes, and you're also trying to point things out to them, and you're trying to guide them. And really, it's also to help people like myself and Erik out as well, because it reminds you of where you were. And that's a big part of it, because when you're helping somebody else, which is what Delancy Street's basic foundation is that you're helping somebody and you get better. A helps B, A gets better. So when I do that, I feel better about myself. And then, of course, they feel better and they're learning, and then they teach somebody else, and so on and so forth, and you pass it down. So all of it truly is designed to help every single person out, no matter how long you've actually been there, which is a really great thing.
Right. That
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah.
It's a
So
great
now,
program.
do people? How long have you been there?
6 years.
6 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which
And-
I chose to do. It's a 2-year commitment, but I chose to stay longer
Okay.
and
How-
continue and help, and also, for myself. I mean, I was in and out of prison since I was 17 years old, and I never had a real job in my life. I never thought I could have a real job. And when I got to Delancy Street, I treated it that way still. I still treated it as if I was in a penitentiary or prison or in a program. And then after being there a while, I realized that I actually could have a life, and I actually could do some things the right way. I never thought I could before.
Right.
And so I really believe in what we do, and now, like Erik was talking about, we actually get to go into these prisons and talk to other people that are in our positions that we were in before, and get them out of these prisons. And that's the greatest feeling ever, is when you see somebody that is in the same position you were, and now you're getting to help them like somebody did for myself.
So
Yeah.
let me ask you something, Sean. What was the light bulb that went off for you that you said, I don't want to live this way anymore. I want to have a different life?
To
Can
be
you pinpoint?
brutally honest with you, there wasn't a light bulb. It was a judge telling me I'm going to go do 10 to life in prison.
Okay.
And then I went to Delancy Street, and after being there for, I would say personally, probably about 18 months before
Okay.
the light bulb really
That's
clicked.
okay.
If that would be my best answer. And things just started to change, and I actually believed that I could do
it.
something. I wake up and go to work every day. I never did that
Right.
before. I just sold drugs and went to prison and got out and came back. And then I started doing it and looking back on everything I had done, and I realized I do have a job reference now. I do have people that I call my friends. I do have people that I can talk to, and it's not bad things. My family's not running from me. They want to know
Right.
where I am. They want to call me. So all these things I never thought I could have actually started to come to fruition. And I was just like, wow, I really, really think I need to stick around and find out what else is behind the next door the next day, what's going to happen. It's amazing what can happen when you see these changes in yourself. And that's what made me believe in it so much.
Wow, that sounds great. So
Yeah.
passionate.
It does.
Yeah.
It's
How
very
about
powerful
Erik?
message.
What's your job? You're not the barber.
No, I'm in the intake and legal department.
Yeah.
Essentially, when guys come in, we do the interviews, we handle their initial intake, and then the legal aspect of it is somebody like Shayne may come in and they have they've been mandated either through courts or probations. There's a lot of different ways, and we just maintain the relationship with the corresponding people, whether it's the courts or probation, or if people's lives term without us being a part of it before they get there. So we have, some people have some mess with either Social Security or even with child support. So we just try to get those people kind of on board with the fact that we're trying to help the person become the responsible person so that they can handle the things that they need to handle once they leave. So that's kind of my job, where I correspond with a lot of different agencies to make sure that people can get there and stay there.
Right.
And do you find that the different agencies are receptive to giving, to listening to what you have to say and giving that person a break to get to the point they need to get to?
Surprisingly enough, yes. It's sometimes tough when you kind of go in cold, where you don't, the area that we go to doesn't have any clue what we are,
Right.
and sometimes, a lot of time we're out of state because we go up to New Hampshire and Massachusetts and Boston, and it's, once we kind of get in and we speak to them, and we usually invite people for tours, things go a lot smoother.
Got
So
it.
we at this point now, to be honest, we have a lot of really firm, established relationships with a lot of people.
That's great.
So more often than not, if the person has the interview and we accept them, they can get there or get here.
Can I ask you, Erik, what brought you to Delancy Street Foundation?
I wasn't in trouble at that point when I decided to come. I was just a walk-in to Delancy Street. My situation, just being the addict that I was, I'd been to a lot of different programs, and I kind of had this predetermined way that I thought that I was going to act when I came in. And but I just went online and with a family member and took a bus and went to Delancy Street, essentially.
And were you taking heroin?
Yeah, I was a heroin addict for about 10 years, and I came in when I was 25.
Wow.
And
Okay.
now I'm 30, so
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I've been there for about 5 years.
Congratulations.
And it just there's really not much difference to mine and Shayne's story, except that I just wasn't in trouble at the time because I have been in and out of jail
Yeah.
a lot for my age, and I have been through a lot. But you go to Delancy Street, kind of in my situation, I was just tired.
Yeah.
Physically, emotionally, and I'm the kind of tired where you're really beat and drug out, and you're just really tired of the continual cycle.
Right.
And it just kind of took me to get to that really, really, really low point to get there, and so.
Yeah.
So
Here I
how
am.
long did it take for your light bulb? You said 18 months. When do you think that you realized that life could be different for you? To me, that's the light bulb.
Well, I guess I had for a long time, family members telling me that things could be different. And so I knew it because I grew up in a good family. But my way was my way. And it just took a while, even into, after coming to Delancy Street, I would say the better part of a year of kind of kicking,
It's okay.
fighting, screaming, scratching, and to really decide that, I needed to do something different.
I wanted to ask you about your moving company.
Okay.
Because I know that's a source of income for you, and we see your trucks running around Putnam. So I wanted to hear more about what the moving company is about. Let the audience know that you do have a moving company and a professional moving company.
Yeah, absolutely, of course. Yeah, we're located in Brewster, New York, but we do move up and down the entire East Coast, as well as we have moving companies in every facility. So if you were looking for a move in those general areas, you could call them as well. But we're in San Francisco, Los Angeles, New Mexico, North Carolina, and South Carolina. And we do moves daily local all over. And the same number you would use to call the facility, which is 845-278-6181, for the moving company is the same as intake. So you'd actually most likely get Erik on the phone.
Okay.
And then you could ask for the moving company, and we would schedule an estimate for you. Come take a look at your property, see what you have for furniture, determine what it's going to take, and then, of course, be happy to help you. And if you check us out on Yelp.com, our reviews are absolutely through the roof. We have a very good moving company. We've been around for about 40 years. So I can definitely say that we're very, very good at what we do, and we definitely give you a very good quality service.
Good, because I'm using you.
Yeah, I know.
You better be good.
That's right. Absolutely.
You got to carry my piano out.
Exactly. And everybody there gets to learn everything from the ground up, which is also the beautiful part of it, because everybody starts at the beginning on the bottom as just a worker like I did myself.
Yeah.
And I was able to work my way up to the point where I actually run the moving company, so I deal with the office, the paperwork, as well as I also go out on moves.
Yeah.
So everything, it's a full, well-rounded package that you get when you're there, and it's also a very good,
Now,
positive.
We're running out of time, but I have to ask you, families Is there a policy that you can't make phone calls for a certain amount of time? Tell us
Absolutely.
quickly.
Briefly, you know, it's that we want we want you to go back to your family for an extended amount of time. So we focus a lot on you, and we don't want there to be distractions of, you know, a lot of people have a lot of garbled up guilt. So it does take some time. It's about a year until you can actually see your immediate
Got it.
family.
Okay.
We have stuff like Parents' Day where if you come in a certain time, you kind of get lucky and you get
Okay.
to see them. But it's just so people
Focus on
can
themselves.
be back in their families and be the son, the father, you know, the person they really want to be, and that's because that's what's important to us.
Right. And what's
Yeah.
the age range? From 18
18 to
18, I guess, to 68, I think is what it
Wow.
officially says. But if you're ready, willing, and able to do something different, it's really not an issue.
I have to tell you, from hearing about Delancy Street and seeing some of the people that have come out, you have a great program.
Yeah.
I don't know why people don't use you more. I have to tell you. I don't know why we don't
I think
use
people
you
don't
more.
know about them, but now they will.
Now they will.
Yep.
Now they will.
Now they
And
will.
I want to thank you for coming on our show, Erik and Shayne.
Thank
It
you
was
so much.
wonderful having you.
Thank you
really.
for having us.
And
Thanks for having
Wonderful.
us.
you do
All
a
right.
Very good
great,
stories
great
and-
job. Great job.
I hear the passion behind your
Yep.
your mission,
thank you
which
very much.
is really important.
Absolutely, yeah. That's all we want people to know is there's a place you can go and get some help. And
So
it
tell
doesn't
them
cost
that.
any money.
There you go, talking to the camera.
It's free to go there. There's no insurance involved, and we just want people to know there's a place to get some help. And again, 845-278-6181, Delancy Street Foundation.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.